Ace Hood was on somebody's show, and apparently he was like, yo, man, I've been married to this woman this whole time. I ain't cheated.
Yeah, you did what you're supposed to do. What, you want, a cookie?
Cheating is nothing but betrayal on both sides.
If he resisted, shout out to him, and he should write a book and teach us all how to resist all of the video vixens and booty-shaking BBL girls.
I think we have to recast the opportunity that cheating can be in strengthening a relationship. And we're back, bringing it right back.
So quick, so fast.
Just when you thought y'all was gonna go home,
We were done.
and we were done. No, 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 no.
Put that snack down.
Yeah, because this right here is where we let our hair all the way down. Can we let our hair down, y'all? We let our hair down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Fucking format, we're just gonna chill.
Took my wig off.
Yeah.
All right, fuck. I see that the lace front back on, Delvin. I see the lace front.
Yeah, put the lace front back on, man, you know.
So listen, y'all. So I mean, this one. So apparently, Ace Hood was on somebody's show, as he is these days. Shout out to Ace Hood, and he was talking about how he'd been married for as long as he has. And this is a show, you know, we're married people on here, so it just made sense for us to talk about. And apparently, he was like, "Yo, man, I've been married to this woman this whole time. I ain't cheated." You dig what I'm saying? And so many people was like, "Oh my God, that's so noteworthy." First and foremost, right? How amazing is that? He's a rapper, a popular rapper at one point in time, like being around all that ass. So I guess my question to you guys is, number one, do y'all believe in him? Just, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Can you be so hood and not be hoeing? But anyways, number two, if he's telling the truth, is it a big deal? And if so, why? And should he be upheld as the virtue, the paragon of black men don't cheat? What are y'all thoughts on Ace Hood not fucking other hoes while he's been married?
Yeah, the silence is deafening because nobody really cares about Ace Hood and whether or not he's cheating. I think he buried the lead. That's what I think. I think this is a guy trying to other himself and say he's better than everybody else. This is like no different than Will Smith talking about how he had to cussing his raps to sell records or whatever. He's cussing now, I think. Anyway, my point here is Ace Hood is much ado about nothing, except unless he was really talking about what the real conversation is. Unless he's saying, hey, I didn't cheat. First, I will say I listened to the whole interview. Okay, and he went on to say that he was trying to get his grown man on, and he felt like as a boy he cheated and he did his thing or whatever. Now that he was married, he was going to take marriage seriously, right? And so whenever he saw some ass in his face, he'd be like, "Yeah, that's beautiful, right? But I ain't gonna mess up what I got at home." First, hey, that's good, bruh. I'm not speaking against that, okay? I'm all for that. Yeah, you did what you're supposed to do. What, you want, a cookie? Right? What you should have been telling these young men, right, while you're patting yourself on the back is, listen, black men, you need to negotiate the terms of your marriage better. That's what you need to do. You need to make sure she understands how you move, right, in spaces, because for some men, that ass shaking in your face, it is cheating, bruh. You already in trouble. You done did it. She want to talk to an attorney. She taking the kids to her mama house. So slow down there, sir. You're doing a disservice. Right? Tell these men they need to know. It's all about the negotiation. If you tell her how you move, right, and you get that stuff on the front end, then when you move, you're not cheating. Then you're not sneaking around and you're not doing whatever. You've created a space for yourself. So Ace, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed not because you haven't cheated, but because you haven't given people what they really need to know. And so I don't know, sir. I don't know. We're not giving you the cookie. I pass. Y'all go ahead.
Jay is not impressed. Apparently, nobody else is either.
So I was going to say, first of all, he is getting the cookie. He's getting the cookie from his wife, apparently, all the time, which is why he's cool with not cheating. And as you stated, I agree with the whole negotiation if that's the route he wanted to take. But I think that we should celebrate the fact that, and I say celebrate because you said that's what he's supposed to do, but there's so many people who don't do it. And so that's what you're supposed to do, but you got so many people who don't do it. Then why shouldn't he get the cookie? Oh, I forgot. He's still getting it from his wife. And so I think it's a matter of setting standards. And I think this should be actually celebrated. And when I say celebrated for doing the bare minimum or the basic, is because we have too many times where we uphold futures, we uphold Offset in some cases, or how we shit on, or some people shit on Russell Wilson for doing the godly thing because that's what their religion calls it. And so I think that we should actually have examples like this more often in our community to say that, yes, men with access to lots of assets and options, guess what, can say no. that it's okay to be strong. It's okay to say, I have self-discipline. I am disciplined, and to have self-control and move accordingly. Now, if that was his nature, like Charleston White, as an example, he just recently came out and say he cheats all the time. But then I thought about it. Is it really cheating if his wife knows? And if that's what he negotiated because he said he got the money to spend to get the honey, then she knows, then it's not cheating. So I just say, if you want to have open conversations, cool. But I'm still going to give this man props. I'm still going to give him kudos because I think we need more in this community. I think we need more discipline in our community. And I think we should stop normalizing cheating as the end goal, or that all men cheat and so forth. Go ahead and redefine it as negotiation with your wife. Have that conversation with your fiance, your girlfriend, or whatever. And let's get the cheating out, because cheating is nothing but betrayal on both sides.
I mean, if he he managed to avoid partaking when he had unlimited access and unlimited opportunity, and then he is a saint and we should celebrate him. Because let's be clear, a lot of men don't have the opportunity and don't have the access. So the whole cheating conversation, they're gonna have to get out of that chat room, right? That's not for them. If that is his situation, then that's awesome. But we can't verify any of this. Maybe 20% of me is with Jay. Is like he may be trying to other himself. Like, hey, I didn't cheat on my wife, and I was on the yacht, and I was on the Luke bus, and look at me, and they were shaking my ass, and I said, "Ma'am, get away from me." Harlots be gone. Okay, and shout out to him, but he's the outlier, and we have to not pretend like he ain't the outlier, because most men, if you put them in that situation, they're going. They may not stick their whole hand in the cookie jar. They might stick their elbow in there, but he might stick around and catch a little whiff of the cookies a little bit. So if he resisted, shout out to him. He's a saint, and he should write a book and teach us all how to resist all of the video vixens and booty shaking BBL girls, because he is stronger than all of us, and we need to make sure we leave a better world for him. Shout out to him.
Yes. I have questions, right? Because I was trying to remember when he was popular as a rapper, right? Or like he was really hot, like Fish Grease for a second, right? With a couple of singles with DJ Khaled. Something tells me that around that time he was probably not married. So I can completely see, like, hey, he had his fun. He could have been with his, well, I guess at that point in time could have been soon to be wife, but I think he can semantic himself into the truth, right? And say, hey, if he said, hey, when we got married, I've never cheated on my wife. Cool. But when she was my girlfriend, yeah, I did cheat on her. Right? That would make sense.
That's a big difference.
Right? That would make sense. And, I can imagine, like, how much at some point in time do you kind of get you're full? You're full. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. Yes, having a bunch of options can be hard for men in general. But I'll be honest with you. Like, sometimes, you get to a point where it's like, okay, that's cool. And maybe you're not moved by that anymore. Maybe you're looking for different things to kind of really get you going. You know what I mean? So I do believe him. Let me start by saying that. I do believe that he's being honest, actually, when he says, hey, I've never cheated on my wife. I believe once he became married, he was like, hey, because I do think that is a good thing to promote to a certain extent. I do think young brothers need to hear it. Not that because it doesn't exist. It's because I feel like part of the reason why I decided to even do a podcast is because a lot of times the positive people who are living positive lives aren't out there saying, hey, these are the positive things that I do. And so the young people don't hear it. And then all they hear is the negative and the shit like that. So, okay, cool. I get, even if he is othering himself, I do get it does say something to maybe those 3 fans of his that still look up to him that he might be able to influence with this story, right? So I just want to say that.
The shade. I think my monitor is getting darker. I can't see it so much.
Now, what I also want to say too, before we get out of here, is that, this overdrive segment, what was it the disclaimer at the top of the show? It still applies. If not, it might doubly apply here, right? So anything I say during this segment, what I'm about to say, what I'm saying, counts as it's part of overdrive. And let me say this. Sometimes cheating is needed, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all motherfuckers.
Don't be like that.
Let me settle in. Okay, here we go.
Oh, Jay's got comfortable.
Let me get comfortable.
No.
We're going to
I'm saying, like,
overdrive.
sometimes cheating for certain couples is a recalibration. It's like a canary in the mine coal, as they would say. Well, no, technically at this point, the mine is already fucked up. She would have missed the canary part a long time ago. But what I'm saying is, it's a chance to reset. Obviously, there are things maybe broken in the relationship, like trust. right? But sometimes because like, you know how like people need drama, right? People need drama in their lives. Like nobody would watch it. We don't watch the news that gives us positive news. It's not because the news don't want to show it to us. We've shown we don't give a fuck about positive shit. We talked about it earlier in the show. We like negativity. So I do think sometimes cheating is like the character arc in some people's romantic stories. They need that to kind of like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying, what I was saying is I think we got to look at cheating differently. You know what I'm saying? I think we have to recast the opportunity that cheating can be in strengthening a relationship is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? I get that y'all expect people to show up as their true, honest selves. But most psychiatrists or therapists, or even for being honest with ourselves, like we're not always honest with ourselves. But you know what is honest? Our actions. Right? I mean, yeah, we're trying to lie about it, but if you go out there and cheat, there's a reason why you did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think confronting that real reason gives a couple an opportunity to rebuild stronger relationships. You know what I mean? There's a study that says that people who survive cheating are 40% more likely to stay married than people who never cheated. I just mean that.
Okay. I love how you made sure that you pointed out that you just made that shit up. I love that. Because, you know, Devin was with the heart immediately. He was like, yes, great study. Great study.
It could be true. I'm all for making relationships stronger.
It could be true.
Yeah, that was the most important part. And so he didn't get a chance to fact check my stats.
Right.
But listen, I'm taking my cues from the president. Like this, the only thing that fucked me up was that I couldn't keep a straight face. You know what I'm saying? In 2025 and beyond, fuck what y'all talking about.
I'm just wondering why S&M doesn't want to make relationships stronger.
Look, first of all, we're not going to switch it that way. We're not going to switch it that way. What we will say, because you didn't know what I was going to say, I was actually going to say, okay, well, as long as it worked for both sides, I'm good with that then. If cheating makes the relationship stronger for men, then it should make the relationship stronger for women. And I want to tell you why. Because it's natural. If women are going to cheat, they're supposed to be cheating up. Because for a man with more money, for better genes, or less audacity.
See, this is...
I'm just saying, if we talk about cheating, then women should be cheating too then. Let everybody cheat. Let everybody cheat. Everybody
like an IV. Cheating is like an IV. You get dehydrated, you need an IV. You go cheat, you get your fluids back up, you're ready to be in a relationship again. Okay? The physiology between men and women is different. Okay?
Thank you.
So what revives a man, right, will not necessarily work in the physiology of a woman.
I disagree.
So, that's why it's IVs. It's intermittent vagina. There's no...
Wait, what you call it? Intermittent vagina.
That's a fact.
What?
Yes. Now, if a woman wants to get an IV, I really don't have a problem with it. It might not work the same way.
Hold on.
But shit, do what you gotta do.
Intermittent vagina.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Why does this have to be about women? Why are we lowering women to have to cheat for? This is not about. What's good for the goose is not it's not the same thing. I hate this argument when you make it every single time.
Because it's a valid argument.
No, I'm gonna tell you why. I said it's not a valid argument, right? Because I'm not making the argument based off of gender. To be honest with you, I think it really just comes down to the cheating itself. You get what I'm saying? It really comes down to like the reasons or what led to the cheating itself, not just, so I hear what you're saying, but I don't think they're the same. Oftentimes, because the dynamics in relationships are the same. We bemoan how women tend to be, I guess, more emotionally capable. They use that to their benefit. They can argue guys down. They can bully themselves. They can cry. They can use all these different things to emotionally one up men in a lot of cases, right? And if we're okay with that, cool. But guess what? Sometimes the balance of that may be people act out differently. You know what I'm saying? Like my child, for example, I'm not trying to compare things, but when he's hungry, when he sleeps, he acts out. People act out when they're deprived of certain things. Now, listen, I get it. Women can say, hey, this is the reason why I'm doing it. But I'm saying it's not the same thing is all I'm saying. Right. And when the person has to decide on whether or not they're going to forgive the other person and try to make through or whatever, part of that is why did you cheat? You know what I'm saying? And also, how did you cheat? And also, as we found out earlier in the show, with whom you cheated. You know what I'm saying? All of these things matter. And so to your point, okay, cool, a woman can cheat. I'm saying a lot of times, to your point, if women are dating up, they're cheating to leave the relationship. A lot of times, guys are not cheating to leave the relationship. They're not trying to step up. They're not trying to replace
to make it better, make it strong.
Honestly, they're also not trying to mortally wound you either. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, I got this need over here. I'm going to go do this over here. So that's the same thing. But Ace Hood is not one of those guys because he is not cheating on his wife. And we believe in Ace Hood. You know what I'm saying? We are, good black men who don't believe in cheating.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? All the time, or at least like on a public broadcast, right? So, you know,
and we're definitely not
It's
admitting it
just kinda
on the Dear Wifey podcast. Never.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, but no, Jay's right. You don't have to cheat.
negotiation.
Listen, in truth, you shouldn't have to, you know, but humans are going human, man. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Men and women marry people they're not attracted to for real, who they can't talk to for real, they don't like for real. So what the fuck you think is going to happen?
To Nick's point, sometimes cheating is opening the renegotiations.
Yeah, you feel me?
I see what you did. Yes.
I see what you did there, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
That was very clever, Jay.
Sometimes you got to break the contract to renegotiate the contract, is what Jay's saying.
Sound like a bunch of excuses to normalize weakness versus masculinity, but I got it.
It's playing chess, not checkers.
It's
I got it. You got to normalize us excuses. You know what I'm saying? I got it.